All right, Benjamin, how you doing, brother?
Eric, what up, my man?
All right, I just wanted to catch you off guard because we already talked a little bit. We were crunching on time, and we are live in my Facebook group, in my Mastermind Facebook group, and on YouTube currently right now as we speak. So it's
Sweet.
a pleasure having you here, man. So just tell us a little bit about yourself and kind of like just give our audience or my audience kind of a little 40,000-foot view of Ben, and then we're gonna break it down from there.
I know, right? So as far as business is concerned, I've been running businesses since 2011. I did some large ones, specifically with DirecTV, ran a crew of like total of like 420 people, made millions, like the dream, right? Did all that cool stuff. But I started agency work and learning about the digital world in 2016. Let me get this camera to.
Yeah, let me stop real quick. If you guys are watching this live, put hashtag live. If you're on the replay, put hashtag replay. And in the above this video, there's a link. It says Facebook or it says StreamYard.com / Facebook or something like that. Click on that link in order for me to see your guys' comments and seeing who's coming in the comments. All right, go ahead, take it back over, brother.
Yeah, no worries, man. That's great that you do that so everyone can get in here and check this out. So with all that being said, there's all this cool stuff that's happened in my life with businesses, helping people. But that's one true thing that I've always really resonated with, that I always felt better about, is when I helped someone else reach them greener pastures, those brighter days. Like, I would genuinely just feel fantastic. And I've always been like that. So I've always been a team leader in the sense of growing, building teams, nurturing them. And that led me to recently, my wife, she acquired a TikTok company. And I was like, hey, TikTok. I thought that was like for dancing and working and lip syncing. And I mean, they still do that, but it's a total different ball game. Like, that isn't all of what it is. And, I know you're on there too, but other than that, I'm still hiring, training, and developing sales reps to become sales closers. And I consult for other businesses and help them develop those systems. I also do back-end systems, so CRMs, organization. And that's like the super little quick sneak peek with like a million details into all of those situations. But yeah, that's the 40,000 looking in real quick.
Absolutely love it. So this journey basically started, and when you started really, I guess, taking traction or getting traction in your life and your business, was around what year? 2017 is kind of when you made your first million?
That was the first mill. And you know what? Just because I'm so blunt and transparent, it might have been shy of like 10 or 11 grand. In my head, I'm like, I think there were some other things that did push it over. But even if I didn't, it was close.
Right. Yeah, for sure. And so from that experience, you understood, you started understanding marketing, you understand sales, and then how actually sales can really move the needle, right, in a relatively fast period of time. So let's talk about your sales, kind of background a little bit, and kind of how you got introduced in the beginning, and then we kind of break down maybe some processes that you were going through as a beginner, getting into sales, and like, what do you find, I guess, positive about sales in a sense?
Yeah, for sure. Let's start at the beginning if I can remember all of that. I feel like I became a natural. I feel like I was actually born into this. I know they say, oh, like some people are born, some aren't. You can always learn. I feel like I've always been a natural born leader, a natural born in the beginning when you're a kid manipulator, right? Like trying to get what you want, trying to talk my way into things. Well, my grandpa messed up when I was about 6. And he said these words to me that I've never forgotten, and it would pave the way to becoming the best, most elite sales closer possible that I've ever become. And he said this, he said, Benjamin, don't be scared to ask me for anything. The worst I can say is no. And dude, from there, it was like, how can I ask for this in a way that I get it? What can I do to earn it? And once I started learning that system, that was the infrastructure to what I do now. And so the background of it is, how do you take someone who's trying to break out of the 9-to-5, out of the matrix currently, right? Or even many years ago, since I've always done, how do you get someone to follow you, right? How do you get someone to say, hey, this person has it, They're doing it. I want to do it. And those are the systems that we put in place to help those folks. And with the hiring and the training and developing, coaching, it's all repetitive. Repetitiveness is the mother to learning, because you mess up with your peers and your mentors in real time, live. Right. And it's cool because you're not going to die, right? You're just going to learn it, and you keep going. It's a language. This sales game is a language. And that's, I don't know if I hit every question. I think there's a couple I missed, but
yeah, you kind of, I probably shouldn't jumble all that together, but from the beginning standpoint inside sales, you've seen, I guess, traction relatively fast. And then you're trying to find a way to, I guess, target your audience, you said. And then the easiest way to do that, I think, is by storytelling, right? Telling your story in a sense, right?
Yeah, tell story sell, correct.
100%. And then, so, you're talking about a lot of transparency and giving back. So through sales, it could be a very selfish thing, but also it could be a very positive thing too, if you can kind of reverse the roles. So kind of give us like your outlook on like what sales mean for like a beginner, right? Because we have a lot of people inside affiliate marketing, some people that are touching on high ticket sales.
Sure.
But what really kind of moves the needle when it comes to sales? Is it like the relationship, or what kind of moves the needle when it becomes like closing the sale, I guess?
Right. Well, there's always those beginning touches, right? So I don't know, there's many different ways to do it, but what I see is the norm currently, or what a lot of people are trying to do, is attract a specific audience by demonstrating free value, right? So it's kind of like an 80-20, give, right? If those were 20%, that would be 80, and then take, which is like ask with a call to action to something. So they're giving so much value that they see it, they want it, right? And it's free. They can only imagine, well, shoot, if I would actually pay for something, holy crap, what would I actually get? Because all this stuff is amazing, right?
Absolutely.
So I think the journey right now, and what I found is that in business, the bloodline to any business is sales. And I've been known to help tons of people create business, create back ends, and time again, the number one thing that I see online people lacking is, how do I actually do a legitimate sales call? What do I say? What am I supposed to do? And so they think, well, they're human, I'm human. We could just jump on the call. And what do they naturally do? Hey, I got this product. It does this, and that. And oh my God, it's great. And they shove it down your throat, right? And that's what I would call a salesman or a saleswoman. And typically they don't even ask for the sale, right? And so I saw this gap. And that's where I've always taken like, okay, I need to actually train with framework, scripting that isn't robotic, but authentic and genuine. And always this, don't lie, steal, or cheat with anything that you're selling, because the moment you do that, then you become that slimy salesperson versus someone who's bringing value, answering questions, slowing down the tempo. I call it romancing the sale. And if you know about romance, it's not wham, bam.
Right.
There's a journey.
Right. It's like a dance.
Yeah. So that's what I love about it. That's what I love training. And most of the people don't even get it till they get into the training. Then they're like, oh my God, it's like mind opening. Like, I didn't know that's how it go. And we don't know what we don't know. Right?
Absolutely. Absolutely. So when you started out, I guess in your, first of your career, you started understanding sales, you understand, I guess, the dance behind it. And now you've got to the point to where you've made several million, and then you're ready now to basically take on the world to teach as many people as you possibly can through transparency, honesty, and stuff like that. So kind of bring us up to speed of, like, you kind of just touched on it, but what you're doing now. You have basically an agency where you're teaching coaches, you're teaching systems and CRMs. So kind of like, who do you typically target? Like, who, in a sense, like, is it B2B, or who are you trying to target right now?
We do both. So let me see if I can do this in a way that keeps everyone attracted and listening. Else I just love going over all the details. So there's two versions. We have the TikTok community, right, where we're doing done with you and done for you services, right? But we're doing both B2B and B2C.
Okay.
I feel like I prefer B2B. However, B2C is what feels better, because it's someone who doesn't know anything. They're like getting low views. They're feeling like they're not doing something right. And the back end team swoops in and guides them and trains them up. And next thing you know, thousands of followers, yada, yada. That's on that system, right? In another version of what I'm doing, we are literally taking B2C, people who want to break out of the 9 to 5, nothing to do with TikTok, completely segregated. And they're like, hey, I resonated with the video. You know, you talked about breaking out the 9 to 5, potentially making multiple 4 figures per month and more than likely 10 plus grand. How is that even possible? I want to learn more. I want to work remotely. That starts that process of, okay, well, let's talk. Let's qualify. Let's see if this is even something that really that resonates with you. And if it makes sense from where you're at to where you want to go and we're the right vehicle to take you there, then we'll point you in the right direction. But if we're not, we'll still point you in the right direction and it won't cost you anything.
100%.
So those are the 2 things I'm doing right now. Mix and match the CRM, the organization, funnels, websites, all that stuff for me right now is secondary. I know people who make a killing in business just creating funnels, just offering a CRM or only doing website work. So I'm focused on those 2 things, TikTok and the self-improvement of consumers that want to break out of the 9 to 5 and work remote.
Love it. So what do you think for a beginner would be the easiest business model to get in, working your 9 to 5 and to actually scale to 10K a month within 6 months?
What we're doing right now, sales, become a remote high ticket closer, high ticket sales, remote sales closer, all the same thing.
Right. Yeah. All of it. Right. Yeah. So digital marketing in a sense, basically online sales, because in a nutshell, it's all the same, right? In a sense, right? I consider myself a digital marketer now. I'm not an affiliate marketer anymore.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Well, sales are transferable to almost any business, really.
Right.
Bloodline. So you have to learn the different nuances and whatnot. But yeah, I believe it is that. So currently now, like from point A through the, end to end, right? What is popping on my screen? They come in, we train and develop based on coaches. So right now they would get a one-on-one accountability coach. They would get group coaching with peers, right? So they're like actually practicing, not just with us, but with people that are like-minded and in the same position. And we hold them accountable with a third accountability coach. So they're doing 10 plus hours of training a week. And then when we certify them, we're placing them with established businesses that we've been working with for years. So the interview process is very interesting because even though we train on that, they're just getting in. The interview is more like, hey, Eric, you're Eric. All right, you showed up for the call. This is what we sell. You come highly recommended. And that's the process. And then they're taking on 6 to 8 sales calls a day. Right. And they have to transition typically from W-2 employee to entrepreneur, right? Self-employed, commitment, discipline, a whole different mindset. However, once all that hard work is there, the ease of making 10 plus grand a month is there because we've placed them in a situation that makes sense. With a business that's been waiting for their next sales closer, all they have to do is show up, repeat what we've trained them on, and keep training with us in the background, to keep getting better. And that's the whole mission of that. That's, in my opinion, the number one quickest, fastest way to like break into the digital world, kill it, and have your whole family, if you're like 18 to 23 years old, saying, are you selling drugs? Like, what the hell are you doing to make that kind of money?
And I just want to let everybody know out there, he's not promoting and talking about passive income blueprints, because that's our exact business model, bro.
Oh, no, I didn't even know that.
No, I'm just saying we are on the same kind of track, on the same path here. And that's how we scale people as fast as we do. Teaching them what we do is because we have all the extensive training and, the mastermind, the 24-hour access to our chat group and messenger.
Yeah.
Like, accountability groups, we have everything going on and running right now. And it's just great that you're talking like that, because my audience already knows that's what we do. And there's something coming from an outsource on what they do. Right. So I kind of want to touch on mindset, right? You're talking about a new business owner coming B2C, business consumer, not business to business, right? So we have to switch our mindsets and adapt to a different kind of like life, right? If we're going to be our own bosses. So do you work with your students as far as mindset and like scheduling and different, like, okay, let's hear about your mindset stuff that you talk about and actually try to prep a brand new person, not just going from a 9 to 5, not knowing anything about digital marketing into that role.
Well, the first thing that one really needs to get through is their identity. Who are they? Who do they want to become? And that's even before the why. So the way that we operate, know your identity, right? And then have a why so strong that you could break down walls with it. Because if you don't, nothing else is going to matter. It doesn't matter how much we teach you. You're going to make money. You're going to make mistakes. You're going to fail because your why is not strong enough to hold that foundation. It's a house of cards and it's going to come tumbling down. Mm-hmm. So we train them to create a measurable action plan, which we give them, which comes with scheduling and whatnot. And then we pivot and adjust as needed based on the need of that client, right? Where are they failing? Where are they getting stuck? And then we pivot and adjust, right? And so that's how we work it with them. And we pair them up with striking partners that are usually off balance a little. One is a little better than the other because steel sharpens steel, and we're hitting both angles. So not only that, but then with the accountability coach checking in, making sure everything's flowing and going, it's just this awesome cycle. Now, the cool part is when they actually show you screenshots of what they make, right? Like, you're like, oh, snaps. And some folks are just killing it, and some do and some don't. But that's the mindset. Identity first, because without knowing who you are, then how are you going to know what your actual why is, and why so strong you can break down walls with it?
Absolutely. So from the mindset standpoint, once we kind of get that figured out and understand that, this does take work, because that's what people don't realize and people don't talk about too much, that it's a grind, right? You are going to have to put yourself out there, and starting with zero following at 40 or 41 years old or 42 or whatever, some people might look at that as a daunting task, and how can they, I guess, compete with other individuals. So how would you, I guess, overcome that objection when people are like, man, I don't have that kind of capability or anything like that? Do you look for a specific person first, or how do you overcome that objection?
Yeah, we help that person, but we have job placement, so they're already secure. They're not just getting their marching orders and being sent away and then hope to God that they find something.
Right.
Like, we're placing them, and if for any reason they fall out, whether they're fired or let go or they quit, right, they get one more shot with us to go over what the hell happened, why did it fail, and typically we catch all that prior to any of that ever happening. So if I were on a call with someone who's like, man, I don't know if I can do it, then the logical thing is to ask them, well, what are they going to sacrifice if they don't do this, right? Absolutely. And then you just do what any sales master, right? Like anyone who's great at this would find those pain points and say, is it worth not moving forward? Right? And then we just ask them, is it worth overcoming your fear? Because on the other side of that fear is all the stuff you say you want. How bad do you want it, Eric?
Right. Does your fear outweigh your why? Right? If your fear outweighs your why, then you're in the wrong, for real, right? So your why has to outweigh that fear. So that's a lot of things I break down with a lot of my students, even before I even sell them on anything, is find out what their fears are, because those fears are going to stop them from moving forward in their life or even in the process, right? So if we can break down those fears before the call ends, then there's no room for question, right? Then they can't really say they can't do it for some whatever reason. But yeah, it's awesome you touching on that. So in what you're doing now, basically you're training people for positions that are going to go work for an outside company. Do you train people to become their own bosses?
Yes. In instances, there are people that come to us, and not always, right? So I'm not being stereotypical. However, they're usually in their mid-20s or older, right? More mature, whatever you want to call it. And sometimes they're like, hey, I want to do my own business. Then it becomes a question of, do you already have a business? Well, yeah. Okay, you're just not great at communicating. You don't know the proper framework. Right. You don't know how to, like, what to say, when to say, how to say it in a specific order that makes sense. Mm-hmm. And then they're like, yeah, exactly. Cool. Let's talk about it more. And then we get people that are like, and this is rarer, but we do get the individuals sometimes that are like, hey, you know what? I don't want to do my own business, but I don't need you to place me wherever you think would be best for me. I actually know where I want to go. They've already told me I need 2 months or 3 months of experience. I've been following you for 8 months. Like, we're interested. And we're like, okay. Now that's rare, but that does happen too. So
Gotcha.
3 different versions of the potential client.
Absolutely. So from, I guess, from TikTok experience, because you just jumped on TikTok yourself, you were crushing it on Facebook, you understand the DM game, you understand cold outreach, inbound, outbound, all that stuff. So what are you experiencing on TikTok right now?
Dude, that's like my favorite topic right now. Go ahead if you have anything else to add, but
let's talk about TikTok, because I've been on there for a little while, and let's hear about what you're doing on TikTok.
You're crushing it, bro. Like, I check it out. I'm like, yeah. So check this out. And this is going to seem very unorthodox to people, and they might not fully get it. But I think those that listen intently are going to be like, wow, that's very noble. But I'm not doing what I'm about to tell you to be noble. I'm doing what I'm doing so I can serve my potential client at the highest level. And this is what I'm doing. I have a back-end team that is dope. Like, they're amazing. They take people from 200, 300, 400 views to 10, 20, 100,000, a million views, gain all the followers, build their business, help them coaching and all this stuff, all this money, all this great stuff. Yet I don't do that. Why? Because I've never been on TikTok until barely last month. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to go in there and make all the mistakes that a brand new person would genuinely make. I'm not taking any help, nothing, because I'm going to find out how difficult is it actually, right? And I'm already skilled at communicating, speaking, sales, formatting, like, messaging, hooks, all this stuff. Okay, cool. Let's see what you got. And dude, some people would say I'm failing miserably because they have it in their minds. If you don't have 100,000+ or 500,000 followers, you must suck. And it's like, okay, why don't you watch the videos? And so I'm learning, and I'm not teaching, but I'm relating back to the back end team. Here's what's going on for me. And they're all watching me, and we talk openly about it. Like, they wouldn't say I suck. I say I suck, but that's just me trying to beat me down a little to get better. Right. So that's what I'm doing currently. I do not have an actual date of when I will stop doing that and get help from my team, but I will announce that and be like, all right, you guys are ready to see magic happen in the next month? I'm about to let my back-end team guide me 100%, not only what I want to do, but mainly where they see me going and where I want to go, and then guiding me. And then I'll do that. But right now, I'm like actually enjoying it.
100%. So people misunderstand TikTok. They think you have to have 1 million followers and get 1 million views on a video. My most profitable videos will have anywhere from 2,500 to 15K views on it, but they're just cram packed for people asking for information, because it's a targeted video. I'm targeting my niche. TikTok, you can go the virality way and then shoot for followers, but nobody's ever going to convert or maybe ever look at your video again. Or you could do it the like authentic way, right? Being transparent completely with your audience, talking about your journey, right? Where you've been, where you're at now, and where you're going to be, and then how you can overcome or help somebody overcome their roadblock in their life. And if you do this on your TikToks by using TikTok for the platform it is, right, then you're going to have less views, but it's going to be a lot more targeted, believe it or not, because
I agree.
I'm bringing 20 plus K a month in on TikTok alone, right? And that's the thing is, like, it's just, you don't have to have 1 million views,
no, but you do need 1,000 to get a link in your bio.
You do. And that's easy. That's truly easy, bro. You got that. You got it, right? Just use sounds with it. That's all the advice I'm going to give you, because I know you don't want none. But use your trending sounds along with what you're saying. It'll help you push further.
Yeah, I'm having more fun with it, where in the very beginning, you can see my videos are very like forced, versus now they're getting more relaxed and chill and like, hey, this is just how it is for me. But again, I want to see how the majority of the folks that are coming to us to begin with, what they're feeling, what are they going through. So not only can I relate, but I can solve those issues and problems like hella quick, or at least alleviate their mind on calls when we're like saying, hey, here's what you get, here's how it works, this is the time frame, and this is what it costs, let's go. And then I can alleviate those stresses by saying, hey man, not only am I a client, I'm the president type of deal.
Right.
Like
big. How many TikToks are you doing a day?
I think I end up only doing 1 or 2.
If you do 3 to 5, you'll have 1,000 followers by the 7th.
And I agree with that because I've tried that. One thing that happened to me that I can talk about is I had another account and I had deactivated it. And this is weird, but it happened. So if anyone sees this and they have a deactivated account that's within the 30 days and you feel like you're not getting views, I went and reactivated my old account, but not to see if I was, if I had any videos that were, blocked or whatever. I was checking on something else and come to find out every single video except one had been reported. And I'm like, this account of mine had like turkeys crossing a road and me gobbling at them and then gobbling back, had my family, my kids, no cussing whatsoever, nothing. Yeah. So someone obviously who didn't like me was cyber stalking me and like ding, ding, ding. I appealed every single one of them, which was like 10 or 12 or something like that. And within a minute, they were all just fine, you know? And so this was like less than a week ago. Then all of a sudden I saw my following count, instead of like one follower every 2 or 3 days, like last night I got 33. Right. Today, if I look at my phone, and I know I have an Android, I know, but everyone else is doing iPhone, it puts a little plus sign next to the amount of followers I have unless I push followers. So today I've already gained 23 new followers. So I'm over 200. Where last night I was like, or yesterday I was like at 140, you know? So it's starting to pick up like you're saying, and it's more because I'm not shadow banned, and I don't even know if that's actually a thing, but there was something preventing my reach. And once I discovered it, then that changed everything.
So are you taking your content from TikTok, taking the watermark off and repurposing it back on Instagram or Facebook Reels?
I have not done that because when you unfocus, that's like the number one reason why people fail. Broken focus, man. And so no one can say, well, I have 100% focus on 2 things. That's impossible.
Right. 50%
focus. So no, I'm focusing on doing 1 to 2 videos a day while doing hiring, training, and developing for the breaking out of the 9 to 5 matrix sales closing.
Gotcha. So I guess I want to talk about systems maybe a little bit. Do you work in Go High Level?
Yep. I love Go High Level. I think they're amazing, and I'm not sponsored by them.
I'm in right now. Yeah. But John, the social media mechanic, you might know who he is. But anyways, he's plugging me all up, dialing me in, put my whole CRM in there. And, with that being said, do you build systems for people or do you teach people? Is that what you do? Because is it specific to what they have going on? Or is it something that you have designed already that you just put the imprint in? I can't remember what it's called, but
like a plug and play.
Right. I got marketers. I have people that right now that need systems is what I'm asking.
Yeah.
And they have different types of business models. Sometimes it's going from like a VSL or even a webinar to a sales call, or just maybe a VSL straight to a close. But they have affiliates attached with them too. And so is that something that's going to be specifically built for those people, right? Because a lot of people out there need systems built, believe it or not. Or is that going to be specific to something you already built?
Yeah, we do create systems inside of Go High Level. The only one that I have that starts out as cookie cutter, right? And I just make it that next person's is real estate.
Okay.
Licensed real estate agents. I have the dopest one in Go High Level. And I've proven that time and time again throughout all the chats inside the community. But yeah, if someone comes to me and they're like, look, man, I have a brand new business. I need systems in place. Yeah, we create it from scratch, but that typically takes for the CRM side organization, the workflows, 3, 5, 7 business days, depending on how small or big, and then websites and funnels to get it all jamming. Do they have their own already, or do we need to create them?
Okay. Right. And then so like you're talking about the funnels and all that stuff, and you creating them, they need a full SOP coming to you and a full system that's already pretty much running in a sense, or an idea, right? Because it's at that time they're going to have probably Slack, Zapier, Calendly, Survey Sparrow,
Google Sheets,
Kajabi. That's me right now. I'm spending like $4,200 a month on software, right?
Oh,
And
yeah, that's crazy.
like as we're building this right now, so I can transfer everything over. But it's one of those things that if you have your system in one place, you're talking about real estate agents. My sister's a real estate photographer, huge in Boise, Idaho. Like she has tons of 14 photographers under her.
Sure.
And she's and they're all hitting real estate agents. So you have a plug and play, I guess, CRM for those individuals, right? So talking to B2B, you can help pretty much anybody organize their business.
Oh yeah, B2B is easy.
Follow up through all of that stuff, right?
Yeah, I wouldn't say easy. It's a lot more formatted already, right? They have a clear-cut SOP system of their entire business. Okay. And when they tell me what they need in regards to like follow-up scheduling, website integration, their calendar, all that is easier. When you have a brand new person of B2C that has the money, even that's not even the issue. And they're like, I don't have anything. Well, you can't just create from your mind. You have to dig into theirs, then make it their idea part of yours and then create. So that's a longer experience, right? Then the person who already has a coaching business, they're already crushing 20, 30, 40 racks a month. And they're like, hey, bro, like it's 5K or it's 10K or it's 15K. I don't even care how long.
For sure.
And then you're just like, well, let me give you proper expectations. You need this, this, and this. Here's how long these items take. We have you check in throughout the process and look at things, make decisions, but we never take more than a couple hours of your entire time in the entire process.
Gotcha. I'm going to jump off that real quick. I've had an idea about Facebook or TikTok ads. Are you guys running ads?
No, I've never looked at running ads, and I see there's some beasts out there popping like 400, 500, 600K a month in ad spend on TikTok for other companies. They're like an agency, and I'm like, that's cool, but the organic reach is so dope on TikTok that I don't think you have to have it. But if you want to crack 100K months, 200, 300K, and go to 500K million, well then, dude, you're gonna have to.
Right, for sure.
You have the greatest affiliate program of all time, and people spreading the word about you, like Andrew Tate, or you're gonna need to run ads.
Yeah, I haven't spent a dime on ads yet to this point. I'm getting ready to pull the trigger on that and go to Facebook and do retargeting and stuff like that. But yeah, I was just curious about that. Mike Rama?
I haven't heard that name.
I'm really big into TikTok and stuff like that, and helping people get brand deals and stuff like that. But yeah, they're investigating and talking about the TikTok. Is it worth even doing ads, for a person that's starting out? Because the organic reach that you're talking about, it's so abundant, right? People don't realize that.
How fast do they want to go? If they're brand new and they want to be kind of hands off, and they're like, look, I'll do 2 hours of recording on 80 bullet points that you give me, and then you guys edit everything, do text overlay, sounds, everything, then okay, yeah, let's run ads because you don't have time, So I think it comes down to money and time when it comes to it.
Absolutely. Yeah, I'm kind of scared of ads. I've seen so many people lose on them, but I'm not as scared, I guess, as what I was, because I know I have a system that's duplicatable and then it works, right, organically. So I think if I put money behind that, I could possibly push the needle further.
Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
I just don't recommend ads like people that are just getting into this industry. Learn the ropes first, like you're doing with TikTok. Find out how it works, find out the struggles, all those things. So,
well, they don't understand after they get a lead what to properly write.
Right.
They just think, oh, you're interested? Cool. Let's hop on a call. And the person's like, hop on a call. And it's like, no, bro, you just missed like 8 text messages that you needed to say before even offering to get on a call. You don't even know if you can help them. And then you need VAs to qualify those leads with those messages. Then they need to fill out a form, 8 to 10 questions. Then you can get on a call to see if you can point them in the right direction. Then a sales call, right? Where they've watched a VSL prior to that call. They understand what the hell's happening. They know there's a multi-4-figure investment if they like it. And that's how you weed out your leads. So meanwhile, a brand new person who's like, I got $3,000 a month to spend on ads. And then they're like, what do I do with all these leads? And you're like, oh, shit.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, have your systems in place first, for sure. Yeah, that's crazy you said that. So like right now, how many people you working with right now? You have like a group of people you work with in a mastermind. Is that how you operate, or do you do just all individual one-on-one
Like
personal coaching
for the TikTok or for the sales training?
for the sales training and the agency stuff like that?
Sales train. Oh, for that, we have like a group of 11 on our
Okay.
back end team. Like, and we are in tight communication, like nonstop. And we love it because we're always all in the know. You know, there's no, like, it's overkill, even if that's even such a thing for communicating, you know. So the process is super dope. It goes, they saw a video, it resonated, they filled out a form, answered all the questions. If they did qualify, then a setter or the owners themselves message anywhere from 8 to 15 messages before they book what's called a triage call. The triage call is 10 minutes, 15 minutes max, and find out literally if we can even help them, point them in the right direction. Not a lot of motion, just about 8 to 10 quick rapid fire questions, as I call them. And from there, you just ask them, does it make sense to move forward to a 45-minute call where we demonstrate how this system will benefit you, how you will start making 6 figures a year and what that entails, and of course, the investment. And then if they're like, yeah, now when we get up, we book the call while we're on the call with them, we schedule them for them. Mm-hmm. And then as soon as that happens, they receive a VSL. The VSL, we will not take that 45-minute sales call unless they have watched the VSL. If I get on a call and my very first thing, hey, what's up, Eric? How's it going? By the way, did you get a chance to watch that video?
Nope.
No, what video? Then hey, man, we have to reschedule. Whoa, wait, why? And I'm like, look, man, your time is valuable. And I can't break down a 45-minute system that really would take me 2 hours. But if you would have watched that video, it would all make a lot more sense. So make sure you watch that video before we reschedule. When could you watch it? Let's reschedule. And that's how that goes. So that's our process.
It's crazy. You're spitting the same. It's like anybody that's watching this right now, my business partner might be watching right now, but you're pretty much saying our exact same process and how we set everything up. We have a person that verifies, you know, the pre-qualified questions. Do you guys offer funding?
Yes, we don't like
in-house or like through ease.
We do, but it's not like the easiest, pun intended, version, because B2C unless you're fully targeting, this is all organic. So we're not running ads to target. If we were, and this is no offense to anyone in this age bracket, we probably would not allow 18 to probably 25, 24-year-olds in, not due to anything else other than budgeting. Not because they can't do it, not because they don't want to do it, but budgeting doesn't permit them to do it.
Right. So I'm connected with Ease Finance in the basically anywhere from 5K to 100K funding for people. They have to have a 620 credit score at minimum and worked their job at least 2 years and had $35,000 per year that they made. And so that's the offer that we have people to fund them, you know, if they can't come up with the initial investment. And so if that's something you want access to, I can set you up with it. They run the whole process for you, and then you just do a HCH. You probably, as soon as the money comes through, you just take the money right off. So
yeah, I think we're in the midst of, and I wouldn't mind looking at it. I think we are in the midst of actually having something implemented. It's just taking some time, and to be honest, I'm not even a part of that part of it. So
it helps. I'll send you that information because I was running through PayPal and all that. Because you know, I bring up investment because you're talking about it. You know, the more you pay, the more you pay attention. And that's the truth, right? And so people ask me all the time, why do you have to invest? Why do I have to pay? Well, you know, honestly, I have a paid staff, and I spent hundreds and hundreds of hours putting this together, and not only thousands of dollars getting education myself. So let's talk about the importance of having a mentor, of having a coach or something like that, so you're not going down rabbit holes.
Yeah, and that has to do with your teachability index, right? Who do you listen to? Who do you know? What do you think? Meaning, like, they need a mentor that's been where they're at, and that mentor is where they want to go. Else you could still learn from someone, but you're not going to learn at the rate and the capacity that you should. So that's why a lot of folks flash a lifestyle online, right? Where my lifestyle is, I live in a 3-story house. It's dope. I have all the leisures in the world in here. My downstairs, like how yours is showing, I don't show mine off at all. but it's decked out like that, and that's how I am, but other people are like, I'm on a jet. Here's my watch, here's this. And it's like, okay, that's cool. But that doesn't actually build you a 6-figure business. So,
right.
Yeah,
it's absolutely true. I'm actually in the studio. You know what's crazy? I live in a trailer. This right here is a tiny home that I built because I've done construction my whole life. So I actually built this tiny home. I put all the in it, drywall, all the construction, put waterproof flooring in. It's only a 16 by 20, but I turned it into my studio because I live on, I live in Libby, Montana, 2,500 people. And the only thing out here for work is snow removal and logging, right? And I don't do neither. Right? And so so I put this together, bro. I'm pretty proud of it. It's the new rich. You don't have to be on a private jet. You don't have to be all these things. I just want to go to sleep, wake up, dude, enjoy my life, enjoy the time I have on this earth with my family, bro, and help as many people along the way as I possibly can.
Yeah, me too. And you know what? All the interviews I've ever done with people that are rich, especially for the men that are single, they would pay any amount of money to have the greatest of woman in their life, and none of the toys even matter to them. They don't run around anymore flossing. So it's like they always say, right, that money doesn't buy happiness, but everyone wants to find out for themselves. So they want to try out.
It doesn't help. It doesn't hurt. I haven't made my million yet, but
I think we got a little static, Eric.
My back.
When you talk, it's super staticky.
1 second.
You're in the.
Let me fix this audio.
Yeah, something. I don't see it on my end, but am I sounding staticky as well?
No. How about that? Better?
Oh, there we go. Yep, no more static. Perfect.
I think it was because I was connected to the mic on my webcam. But yeah, man, it's just crazy to see, because you're probably younger than me, man, and you hit your first, big win really when you're 27. You just kept scaling from there. So when's the last time
No. I'm 42. I'm going to be 43.
Oh, we're same age then.
2017, when I believe I hit my first mill, which is more than likely probable. So whatever that age difference is, what's the math on that? 17,
right.
1, 2, 3. So 6 years ago. And then the next year was 4.2 million in 2018. And then like another mill something in 19. And all that came crashing down, but that's for another story.
Yeah, for sure. So like, when's the last time you actually worked a job?
Oh, like literally my last job was in 2011 at LA Fitness.
Nice. You're a personal trainer. That's right.
Hustlers are bred. No, I wasn't a personal trainer. Yeah. However, I sold more training than typical trainers because of how aggressive I am with lifting weights. I was just the sales manager.
Okay.
LA Fitness, 24-hour fitness breeds hustlers. Micromanagement from hell. Meetings every hour on the hour. How many calls did you do? How many calls did your team do? How many leads? How many appointments? How many shows? How many closes? Oh my!
Right. Yeah, the gym industry is brutal, man. I was in the gym industry for a little while as a personal trainer, and if you didn't hit your quota, you're out. You only had you were making. It doesn't matter how good of a trainer you were. If you couldn't make the sales, you're out.
That's right. So, like I always say, the number one thing to business in the bloodline is sales.
Yes, indeed. Man, it is crazy, bro. I never experienced sales until later in life. But I tell anybody out there, if you have the opportunity to jump in, to try to get online and do something, find a product or service or whatever.
Yeah,
I don't know, man. It doesn't, start somewhere though. Like
I think a lot of people still have the misconception that salespeople, you have to be slimy. They think used car salesmen. And it's like, no, those were the scumbags. Those are just scumbag people. And then they stereotyped it to salesmen, saleswomen. And it's just not true. If you are a great storyteller and you really want to help people and you know what the framework is, you can become a great sales closer. And that takes way more finesse than a sleazy salesman who's like, look over here. And then they're sneaking some shit in or whatever.
Right.
So I think people get that misconception. They're like, oh no, I would never do that. And you're like, wait, you would never invest in yourself to make, 120 plus grand a year, but you'll invest 40 hours of your life at a job that you freaking hate and you complain about and your health is bad, but you'll do that? What are we talking about here? Like,
yeah, it makes no sense, right?
Yeah.
You put a spin on it like that and tell a story with it, right? It makes people realize it, look at it a different way, because a lot of people are one dimensional.
Yeah. Well, I just tell them, I tell them like this too on the B2C folks. If you have enjoyed our conversation currently, do you find that our conversation was easygoing, authentic, genuine? And do you think it's robotic? Do you feel that I'm reading from a script? And it's always like, no, actually, this feels like you're my buddy, or this feels like I know you. And I'm like, exactly. Do you think it's hard? They're like, no, not at all. I'm like, exactly. So now you can picture yourself doing this too. Because all it is relating. Can you relate, build rapport, show them a service or product that they've already known about anyway, lead them to the promised land, and just see that the budget does or doesn't fit. It's so easy. People overcomplicate it, and we find that results have to be simplistic.
Talk about that.
Simplicity in results. Like, okay, let me give you an example. I won't name names, but there's people out there selling $20,000, $50,000, $100,000 sales training programs. But when you get it, you don't have accountability coaches. You don't have one-on-one. You get videos, scripts, tons of swipe files. It looks great, sounds great, but you have like 100 hours of videos. First and foremost, folks, you're not going to listen to 100 hours. Think about your favorite movies and think about watching 100 hours worth of your favorite movies. You're not going to do it, right? Then think, even if you did, would you retain all that information? No. You're only going to retain 10 to 15, 20% if you're lucky, and then try to repeat it. You haven't been practicing with anyone, and it's a different language. So how can you expect to speak it properly? And Absolutely. Now you're going to go find yourself a closing job at a company that's begging for a sales closer because they're not established, and they're going to run you into the ground, overwork you, underpay you, and you're going to think you suck, but that's not true. So simplicity in results, meaning let us show you a way that doesn't hinder you, doesn't make you overexert your brain. You have to practice with us live. It's fun, and it's with people like me that are in the trenches. We're not old, dried up dinosaurs trying to preach about the good old days of how we used to do things.
Right.
We're doing exactly what you want to do. So if you like this process, if you think this call's easy and you find it genuine, authentic, and I'm not acting like a robot script, and you can do this too. It's as simple as that.
Absolutely. Just keep it simple, right?
Super simple. So yeah, simplicity and results that way.
Awesome, man. So what's the future look like for you? Are you just, I guess you and your company, or you and TikTok, or what's going to happen in the next 6 months?
I enjoy TikTok because it's a struggle, man. It's a struggle, and I want to be born in the struggle of TikTok, so I know how to conquer that shit, even though I have a team that could fast track me. It's cool with me. So in the meanwhile, the bacon is hire, train, and develop sales reps, become sales closer, place them into jobs where they can make 6 figures, and that crushes so many other opportunities where people have to invest 10 grand, 50 grand, 100 grand, and the best bet is it's on them.
Absolutely.
You don't have to hire staff. It's on them. Will you do the work? Are your dreams enough? Is the why big enough? We have to know those things. So yeah, man, next 6 months, conquer TikTok for sure.
Got it.
I'm going to be picking your brain, man.
100%.
And my back end team too. And then whoever I can when I get to that spot, and then keep the hiring, training, and developing going, and see that we scale that to the star, sun, and past the moon, baby.
Love it. What's your schedule like right now? Do you have availability for, say, a team to come in, or not a team, but a business owner that wants to have a sales team behind them, and maybe need some kind of SOP built, but they already have systems other than inside of the high level?
Yep. So that's an awesome conversation, because sometimes it really depends on that individual, right? If that individual has systems in place, but they're not working and they're stubborn and willful, then it doesn't really make much sense to have a conversation with that type of individual. But if they're like, look, here's where I'm at, Here's where I want to go. I need some help. I feel I'm on the right track. Look at my shit. Can we poke holes and find where to plug the holes, right? Stop the bleeding. Then we can mix and match the arsenal, right? And sometimes some clips don't work with different guns, but sometimes they do. And they have to at that point. You have to be willing, that individual, to compromise and see things from a different perspective, but never forced onto that person, because that shit won't work. They have to see it, feel it, like it, adopt it, mix and match and mesh. Now, sometimes there's individuals where everything's just jacked and you're like, hey, I'm just going to be blunt with you. This shit sucks. And that's why you're experiencing what you want. I don't mean to hurt your feelings. Let's leave feelings out of it. Do you want it fixed or not? Here's what I suggest. Bing, 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 bing. Here's what we can do. Let's get these two guys on the call with us and schedule another call. Is it worth our time to do that? Yes? Cool. No? Awesome.
Love it. I have some individuals I'm going to send your way that's been asking me for my help, and I don't have the time. And that's not what I do. I don't train high ticket closers, you know, at this point. So, but yeah, I have some people I'm going to send your way.
Cool. I appreciate it, man. And hey man, this is awesome. I don't do many interviews, or I don't even really consider this an interview, just kicking it, shooting shit. In fact, you probably will never find one other than this. If I ever do them, they're in private, behind closed doors, and they're not recorded. So I was like, dude, I think I've known you for 1.5, 2 years. I think I saw the come up, bro. Like, I don't even remember, but I saw when you were like just a fledgling in the game, and like, what do I do? Where do I go? And I was like, oh, dude, this dude made it. I was like, oh shit. I was like, I have to get on this call, man. And like, first and foremost, congratulations. And for anyone watching, Eric knows what the hell he's doing. And I know that for a fact, because he was someone like you guys not too long ago. Like you were, and that's not a bad thing. It's not a bad thing. We all have to start. And that's the other problem, Eric. People are too scared to freaking start. It's a scam. No, it's not a scam. You're lazy. Quit justifying your bullshit.
And people worry about what other people think too. Their disapproval. They say, well, you think this will work? And they say, well, I don't think it is. It's a bad idea. And that shuts them down as well. But I just want to touch on, when I first started, bro, you inspired me from the beginning on Facebook when I was doing the MLM thing, just struggling, not making nothing. I'd sold to all my friends and family, and I ran out of those people, and I was looking for another opportunity. But you just I just keep seeing you pop up, and you always direct me in the right direction or give me the right advice, And that's been like almost 2 years now. It's crazy, right?
Yeah, it's dope.
What can happen to your life in 2 years is absolutely amazing if you just put your head down, give yourself a chance, right? And then just
and why not? People are doing it for 20, 30, 40 years at, again, jobs they hate, 40, 50, 60 hours a week, not spending time with their children or their husband or their wife. And then at the end of the day, bro, I'm going to leave like this. And with a big bang, on their deathbeds, you want to know what people freaking say the most? They regret not taking the risks that they should have, or not jumping, or not spending time with their kids. They never say, I missed the opportunity of making millions. Nobody. You want to know what life is all about? It's about memories with people you love and trust and want to be around. And those memories, when you're on your deathbed, are all that matter. And if you want to have regret, don't take action. But if you want to live a life that's full and free, financial freedom, then you have to take those steps. The fear is what's preventing you, and it's money. It's limiting mindset. Oh, if I give $2,100 today, how do I know I'm going to make it? You're never going to make it with that attitude. You'll keep doing what you've always done, getting the same results, wondering why it's not changing, but wanting better, right? Yeah. You have to change the mindset, folks. You have to do better and be better. And all that success is on the other side of fear. Let it go. Move forward. It doesn't matter if it's with Eric, with me, or anyone for that matter. As long as you do the work, you're going to win, or stay stuck. Have regrets when you're older and wish you could take it back, but you can't.
So where can we find you at, brother? That was beautiful. I wish that's poetic, right? I'm glad it's recorded. So here's what we need to do. I need you to tell everybody where we can find you at, as I'm having viewers come to you anyways, people that need your help. But from where you're at and how we can find you, your handle on TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, wherever.
Yep. I'll start with what you said. TikTok is Benjamin Anaya Jr. 79. I'm like this. That's the picture. I'm like, hey. All right. On Facebook, it's Benjamin Anaya Jr. I believe I am in a black suit with a white collared shirt. Yeah. And that's it. I don't really do YouTube. I'm on Instagram. I do not use Instagram. I should. I think I have like 5,000 followers or something. I don't know.
For sure. What we'll do is I'll get that information from you, and I'm going to put it in the bottom of this video. I'll tag it. If anybody wants your services, like I have a lot of people that are coming from my mentorship that I'm in that are at the level that I'm at now, where they're needing closing teams and they're needing systems put together and they're needing a lot of things, bro. So not only was it a pleasure meeting with you and just picking your brain and kind of finding out really what's going on in Benji's head, man. And like, you know, finally meeting with you, bro.
Yeah, you too.
I knew it was fully packed and there's so much more. I know that. So,
oh God, I know. That's why I was tripping out when I was laughing when you wrote like, dude, like let it out, you know, like what else do you got? Cause you already know. So yeah, you know, I'm a yapper, bro. So we could always do this again, or we can start having some kind of rapport build business relationship where if you need whatever, you know, I've always been there. So whatever it is, like, I'm
gonna have a podcast coming out here soon within the next probably 6 months. I'm gonna start my own podcast. I like doing this. But yeah, we'll get it set up and have you come back on or whatever. But hey, it's a pleasure, man. Always, I appreciate you, and I will talk to you later. I'm gonna go ahead and end the broadcast. If you guys catch this on the live, put hashtag live replay. It was great having you guys again on here, watching us, viewing us, and then again, reach out to Ben if you guys need any kind of assistance or guidance. All right, you guys talk to you later.
Have a great one, man.
I'm gonna end broadcast now.